Well, we know that when we have sun, seed, soil, air, and water, we're going to grow a plant. Now, plants have different parts, and each part serves a purpose. We can also eat different parts of the plant, depending on what that plant is. So we're going to talk about the parts and what parts we can eat. Now, we know that the first thing that starts to grow on a plant are the roots. Roots grow underground, and the roots are important because it helps hold the plant into the ground. It's also how the plant gets water and nutrients up through the roots to go to the rest of the plant. Some examples of roots that we eat would be the carrot, okay, growing underground. Radishes grow underground, and the beet also grows underground. The next part of the plant that starts to grow after the roots is going to be the stem. Now, in a larger plant, it's sometimes called a stalk or even a trunk if it's a really big plant. Now, the stem helps to support the upper parts of the plant, and it's also like a transport system where taking water and nutrients throughout the different parts of the plant. Now, we do eat stems. An example of a stem would be celery. We eat this stem part. Asparagus is actually a very big bushy plant, but the only part that we eat is going to be the stem of the asparagus plant. After the stem, the next thing that starts to grow are the leaves. Now, leaves are very important because that is where the plant food is made. It's something called photosynthesis, as I'm sure you might have heard before. Photosynthesis is when light, like from sunlight, reacts with the nutrients in the plant, and it converts it into food in order for the plant to grow. When that happens, oxygen is also released, and that's good for us. So some of the leaves that we eat in plants would be something like spinach leaves, lettuce leaves. Those are some really good examples of leaves that we eat. So after the leaves begin to grow, a flower often appears on the plant. Flower is important because a flower is how the plant helps to reproduce itself or make more of itself. There's also usually seeds made by flowers, but we're going to talk about seeds later. But there are some flowers that we can eat. For example, broccoli is the flower of the broccoli plant, and we eat that part. The cauliflower is the flower of the cauliflower plant. So as I mentioned before, the stalk gets really big, the stem gets really big, we call that a trunk, and that usually means it's a tree. So if it's that big of a plant, it's usually giving us something that we take off, like a fruit, like an apple tree or a pear tree. So those are things that we eat off of a plant also. So we have learned that plants have different parts. We've also learned that we can eat different parts of the plants. So I hope that next time you eat a plant, you decide which part that you're eating. Here's a great activity to help you to remember the parts of the plants. First of all, draw a plant. On the next page, write the names of the plant parts, cut them out, and match them together.